different style and go to that number.
Doctor, what that you do, my wife, sir?
What you believe? Having sexual intercourse.
Oh, I think I fuck you, I fuck her.
This one called Dub to Africa. When I see this, it reminds me that there's but one God, God Almighty.
All right, nice. Do you remember?
Do you remember?
You remember me, Charles.
What's up, Eric? Nice to see you. Yeah.
Good to see you.
Oh my gosh, another day, another palace cleansing purification crucible. Sort of, you know how metal we get, and we need it to get pounded out like in Link to the Past.
It's an awesome thing when everybody shows up and everybody's cleansed.
Everyone's cleansed. Yeah, it's really nice. Thor's hammer.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us. This is Charles Carroll.
How you doing? How you doing, everyone?
I'm here with Charles Carroll. This is nice.
Yeah,
It's
really
nice,
good times.
Nice to meet up, and I'm sure there's nothing but good, fun things to talk about.
There are nothing but good, fun things to talk about. You know, the news that we're being bombarded with lately, Eric. It's our job to purify it before everyone else gobbles it up from everyone else, but they already do it anyway. So you get the purified version from us. But these are a lot of the stuff I've been wading through for 10 years. So it's just a kind of a gas for me.
This is going to be a little bit of a challenge for you, Charlie, because this is stuff you probably talked about 10 years ago.
Yeah, for the last 10 years. Now, look, I've never been a crusader for justice and all these things.
Right.
Just because I'm, just for a number of different reasons. My priorities lie elsewhere.
But do you find it surprising that the things that you talked about 10 years ago are now the highlights and the main topics of what's going on right now?
Yeah. I don't obsess about prophecies and about where things are going. I mean, I have some amount of knowledge and a good amount of intuition, but I really didn't. You never assume that these things are going to be released into the mainstream.
Yeah, you didn't think this would be mainstream.
No, only until really recently, once you see all of the if you want to call them legacy media, people from Fox or CNN, and they're carrying the torch for all of these conspiracies that we've been talking about for the last 10 years, and now that they've switched over and all this stuff, another legacy media operation still continues with all this stuff. So what the fuck are you supposed to do with it?
Well, you're supposed to talk about the fact that there's a lot going on with Epstein right now. Have you ever heard of him?
Well, now, Jeffrey. We all know Jeff.
That's what I'm talking about.
You never ended up meeting him.
Nope. Never came in contact with the guy.
But I was fortunate enough to meet him on a bunch of occasions.
Didn't you say it was like a Caribbean thing? Or
Yeah.
It was some island or...
Yeah, it's an island.
I wanted to get you to go on a cruise with me, and you said I have other plans.
I got real tired of the island stuff after all those years. I prefer the ski cabin, especially more now. But it got played out after all these years. But I did get to enjoy Stephen Hawking and people like that.
That's right. Those are the best ones.
And Jeff gave me his little black book.
Oh, a little bit of like a partying gift.
Yeah, it was. We were partying as he was parting. Yeah, he gave me his little black book, which aren't the numbers or addresses of people, but he gave me a book of certain things. Let me just put it that way, in which you have the means to control somebody. Let me especially someone who's been through the program.
So he gave you a guideline book, and this is how you would control what someone.
This is how I repay him.
Yeah. So let's cut it right at the idea that. All right, so Epstein has been around. This has been a name I've heard about for a decade. And for some weird reason, this is the mainstream news now. So we get in here. Why is it the mainstream news? I guess it's, there's not an easy answer for that, but let's just say some things I've heard. Trump doesn't want to bomb Iran. All of a sudden,
other reasons.
Let's drop like a shitload of emails and information
Just
based
a
around
distraction from other things.
So you got a distraction. What are we being distracted from?
Well, in my opinion, the main distractions are, they're usually either they're going for the children, but I guess everything is always going for the children. But the main worry that is mainstream now by this time is just being ethnic. Everyone being ethnically cleansed from their own homeland, and you can say whatever you want about the Hugh Hefners and the Aleister Crowleys of their type in this age. You can say what you want about them, but the ethnic cleansing is a higher priority than than their temple prostitution and all
So
that.
you think
And
that's where?
you are referring to our country as well as other countries.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I guess I will speak for ourselves.
For the Americanos.
Yeah, whatever they're jeering. You see, everything that's a conspiracy at one point it becomes a fact, and it becomes this is okay. It is happening, but now this is good. So you get people saying like, yeah, we're bringing in the great replacement. We're actually doing it, or this is going to be a whatever minority by this time, and that right there is your trajectory as a people is on a it's on a wood chipper death sentence.
Yep.
That is still, as we speak right now, steered right into a wood chipper, and it doesn't matter what sort of playboy sex trafficking happens, and there's of course there's lots of abuse, there's lots of bad stuff.
Well, let's say this: they're not going to distract you with something that isn't horrendous and
sensational.
Yeah, something monumental.
Sensational sherry.
Right? But it's not as big as the problem that you're talking about.
Yeah, it's still a distraction.
So isn't that the way to play a lot of things?
Well,
Wouldn't you do that? If you were going to do something crazy, why not just like spit out something that's going to be in your face? Media will take, it'll like catch fire. Mm-hmm. It'll hide you from the big thing. Give them something, but you don't have to give them everything.
Yeah.
But either way, I'm sure
it's a combination. Straw man, this and that. There's a combination of strategies into what you just said.
Yep. So, and I'm sure it's been tweaked over the years, and it's pretty effective.
It sure is.
So Epstein comes out here, and now there's a lot of emails dropped on it. So they're probably targeting Trump.
Well,
Why would they do this? Why do they hold back on the Trump thing?
remember that?
Why do they hold back on the Trump thing for, let's say, 2 years? They're like this. They're not releasing the ones about Trump, though.
Yeah.
It's not Trump. He's not in it. How come they're releasing everything but Trump?
Mm-hmm.
So then now if I know. But I'm saying if the stuff that was just released is about Trump, why would they do that now?
Why didn't they drop this stuff when Biden was in office?
Why wouldn't they?
Or anybody?
Isn't this? Wouldn't that? It's not like they didn't know that Trump wasn't going to be running for president.
This whole time they were waiting to use it on Trump? That sounds familiar.
Maybe they were just being distracted because Trump was getting dragged into court for God knows what other reasons. But that was their ploy then. Who knows what the big distraction was for at that time?
Yeah.
And then round we go.
I always knew that they would wait until Trump to spring this stuff because it's convenient politically to bring it up with Trump, and also just because Trump was such a populist in whatever,
The
younger
race.
guys and whatever you want to describe it as in Americans, disclosing all of this stuff at this time is like psychological warfare on everybody at that time. Let me
Heavy
put it that way.
strategic.
So it's associated with Trump. It's associated with the Trump times, even if there's no Trump evidence in the release. It's still happening on his watch, which was I always knew they would do.
Yeah, right. I mean, in other words, there's dirt. This is like the whole point of Epstein. There's dirt on everybody, right? His name should be Jeff Dirt.
Joe
Joe's
Dirt. Brother.
Exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't. By this time, it doesn't matter to me what. Well, go ahead.
No, it's just, I guess the idea is that they always have dirt on anybody that's going to be making monumental choices. Yep. Either way, in other words, there's a humongous circle of, we'll call them elites. I don't even care.
Elites.
Yeah.
You would call them Elites, as in worshippers of El.
Hey, there you go. So let's say that group, they're all in bed with each other. God knows everybody is. But there's dirt on everybody. And then everybody's always put in the same power position. And then eventually there's going to be dirt on them just to feed some goddamn narrative, and it goes haywire. Surely, just like you and me, this is the main topic of conversation right now across the world. But we both know that it's not really that big of a deal to you and I, considering what the distraction. It's the distraction for something way more important.
There's a more immediate distraction. There really is, and I get the obsession with it, and I get the waiting, and I get the opportune moments to spring these things, but it's just what the I first operate by noticing and recognizing that these atrocities being revealed in public are first and foremost because you know that there's no justice in this world. There's the criminal justice system, which is justice for criminals, as you've lived through.
Yeah.
You see it. But you know that there's no justice. You know that. Okay, well, look, I'm not trying to speak in that language. I mean, you're used to no one ever going to jail. Let me put it that way. And so you expect the same thing to happen. And I put forth that many years ago that if this stuff were put out in public, then it would be sort of the end of the world, and that governments would collapse. And I mean, that's
way more of a drastic end result to doing something like this.
Yeah, but perhaps that's just perhaps it was true 10 years ago. 10 years ago wasn't that long ago, but still, it was long enough ago. Maybe it would have gotten people in the streets, or maybe it was just an underestimation of the level of control of the occupiers of this realm.
Yep.
Which is natural. I mean, who the hell? I try not to think that far ahead.
Well, is there a point to doing so?
What is the point? The point is like, hey, these people are gonna do like what the. So there's guys with bow ties on there talking about stuff that, and I mean, if you want to do apples to apples, I might have gotten $5 for talking about back in the day, mainly because I'm a moron. But the guy's got a bow tie on. He's carrying these things, and look, there's no mandate for me. I'm not the keeper of the flame of conspiracies. But it doesn't make sense to me where things that were completely forbidden to talk about in public are now fair game for the same people that were running the show back in the forbidden days. Like, it's so shocking to me to live through this, and I cannot believe that there's many figures out there. I cannot believe that they have an audience and that people... I'm so shocked, even to this day.
Do you think it's just like an escalation of the way news is reported, meaning that it was completely out of style?
Could be just...
10 years ago is a long time, like you said. Is it just a style that's changed? In other words...
It's my style, sir.
Yeah, but this was your style 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Meaning that, like, if everybody wants to make money, they'd be looking at analytics. And if back 10 years ago, nobody wanted to hear about Epstein and all the horrific things that come along with it, if it wasn't the style to deliver that type of news.
That's why my feeling was if they did it 10 years ago, people would have been out in the streets.
Right, because it's too shocking.
Yeah.
It's
I really kind of feel that way.
It's really disturbing still. And that's why I really don't want to get into like the really raunchy shit that comes along with Epstein, because it's terrible.
They have to release everything slowly, and then they numb you to not caring, and then eventually no one even cares when they report the worst stuff ever.
Your care is cremated.
Yeah. And speaking of cremation, whatever happened to Epstein? He's dead?
I don't know if I die. I assume no. I don't assume. My assumption is that wealthy, powerful elites do not visit jail or are put under house arrest. I simply don't believe it. I've seen enough movies at the very least.
It's impossible. It's impossible if elites are all 400 of the top elites.
Yeah.
If all of them are throwing each other under the bus, threatening to put them in jail, and then like 3 days later eating steak dinners and smoking cigars together, obviously no one's going to jail.
No.
That's impossible. And Trump was never going to go to jail for any of those things.
When it comes to the, I guess you could assume when it comes to the network of nations and the internal structure of a government and the external and how it deals with other nations, you can just assume that it operates in the same way as does a cult. I'm sure there's a better word for it. I guess you could say mystery religion, or rather a secret society. Maybe is a better blanket term, or a cult or secret society, mystery religion, whatever you want to call it, whatever works better for you. But a system in which you cannot enter it unless you have blackmail on you, unless you have a bond with your fellows that cannot be broken without you being destroyed.
Right.
You know, that's par for the course when you're entering a secret society or a cult that operates covertly. That's the way it operates.
Clearly, that would be the most safe way to keep people in.
That's how you keep people in, by force. That's just the way it operates. What are you gonna let someone in that's just gonna infiltrate you and destroy you from the inside and do all your secrets and all? It just doesn't work like that. And now, since we've learned that these cults and these secret societies, you could say Skull and Bones, you could say the freaking Rosicrucians, you could say the Jesuits, you could say whatever, the Templars is a good one, but you could say that all these people are initiated into these cults, so you can assume the governments and the relationships that they've formed with every other structure in the world follows a similar suit. It follows a similar organization. I didn't mean to say it in so many words,
right,
but I can only assume it's the same organization.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, it is a one nation built into whatever secret society you're talking about. And everybody would be, in other words, we've said it forever, but is there different countries in reality? Or is there real boundaries to any of this shit? I mean, anybody, you could say anything and you could be called crazy. I understand.
Oh, yeah, but these days, considering all the Epstein stuff, anything that I've, like not sitting on, but I don't like to make people sick.
Yeah.
Like, dude, unless you want to talk about the application of real atrocity, which of course I wouldn't talk about.
No, I don't like that shit.
Yeah, not that. But I'm saying, and everything else, there's nothing I could say that would freak people out or be called crazy about now, considering all the revelation that's happening this day. That is definitely. I mean, it could happen with new laws. Laws can make things that you say crazy in the future. Like, let's say anti-Semitism
laws change all
law.
the time.
Yeah, like you could get thrown in jail by criticizing whatever the hell nation that's like 80 years old. Or no, will it even reach 80 years? What's the cap for a Jewish nation?
I don't know.
A Jewish nation.
There's got to be some type of.
No, it's 80 years. I think none of their united, whatever the hell you call that, they've never reached 80 years of getting along with each other.
Really?
They've always warred.
It probably, if you could blanket, even just the shit that I've pulled from you, is you can still blanket it as the only war is religious. And
yes,
I mean, we're not going to get too deep into the idea that the secret society is based on a religion or a belief, but I mean, we might as well say it is. Sure.
It is.
And exactly what I'm saying. So, like, all in all, don't call them countries, don't call them boundaries. We would probably...
Don't call me a taxi.
Don't call me that. But all in all, we'd probably just say that the only real war out there is probably a religious one. We've said it forever.
To this day, it still stands. From what I see, the only war that I've seen are on the children of God, the atrocity that is executed on them in this world. And from what I've seen, that has been Christians.
Yeah.
And
I still don't know how Christians have lasted this long. They seem to be earmarked, marked for death.
Yeah, when I think of Christianity, and I think of my fears or my shakings of faith, I don't know. I don't even want to go into it anymore. But it has endured for a reason. It has endured. And it is the biggest victim of all atrocities that I've seen. The Russians got it real hard, and I know the Germans got it, and we're getting it right now. And all this, you can say the UK, you can say Islam, and this and that. You can say whatever.
I like
go to someone else.
I like saying this because it still brings back the idea that they're. This is still what's the great replacement type thing. It's bringing us back to this still because primarily whites are Christians.
There are many Christians that are not white. I'm not going to say, but just like you said, primarily they have been white, and you're right to bring that up.
And again, so it's still there's an X over us always, and we're
gonna watch your ass.
We're marked for death.
Gonna watch your.
And I don't know how we've lasted this long. I've said that before, but I still don't get it because it seems like we're the ultimate enemy. And it's like a unanimous thing. But
it does seem that way, doesn't it, Eric?
So if that's an ethnic cleansing, like you're saying, that's still what something like Epstein is the distraction for, is my point. I'm trying to bring it back full circle for that.
Yes.
And everything we just mentioned
about
is...
60% of Catholics in the U.S. are white.
Well, the Catholic Church has been
I mean,
facilitating.
we'll say Christian.
Demographic replacement within their own.
It was 90% in the 90s.
Yeah, I like that. I like 90 to what, Nick?
To about 56. It says 54 to 59%.
Now you see 90 to 54, 50 whatever.
29 years.
Now, in 29 years, in less than a generation or a generation, now that would usually set off the alarm bells of an incredible genocide, ethnic replacement holocaust to me.
Imagine.
But in this case, it doesn't. Because in this case, the victims they're white Christians, mainly.
And I think it's in our religion, to get our ass kicked and to be like this.
No, turn the other cheek.
Love your enemy.
Yeah, you got to love your neighbor. You see, you love your enemy. You see, the thing about loving your enemy, Eric, you want to talk about... You want to talk about my mother?
Talk about love?
Yeah. You want to talk about that? Love is violence to the wicked. So if you really love your enemy, okay? Well, I don't want to be misconstrued. Is what I'm saying is...
I know what you... I have a feeling...
Yeah, I'm saying to cause your brother to sin no more isn't the worst sin itself.
I know what you were getting at. In other words, if you love your enemy, then give him the gift of death.
Give them the gift of leaving this world before they actually are 100% going to hell. Now, of course, that's a superhero. Also, someone who would kill a good person before they're corrupted. Like, that's an interesting superhero, which I really, really like. Yeah, but it is a very dark philosophy.
Jesus, and no one's suggesting any of that
Yeah,
stuff.
it's a dark, but I like dark philosophies. I really love them.
I know. Let's just because it's such a big topic. All right. Now, Epstein...
I always figured that the clown priest would do something like that.
Who's that, Epstein?
No, just someone I've been working on for many years, ever since the Joyride years. But the clown priest is... I don't even know what else to say about him. Yeah, anyway, continue. I didn't cut you off with retardation.
So let's say Epstein died in jail, which we don't believe is possible.
Because they don't die.
Yeah, well, maybe. Well, I mean, we can even say that too. If you're in this group, I mean, isn't there like every president is on repeat? If you look at their fucking facial structure.
Yeah,
Speaking of
the
facial
masks
structure,
and Biden and all that.
Let's look at Epstein. It looks like earlobes don't look the same. Noses look a little bit fucked.
Why didn't they take a picture of his cock?
They should have. It would have been the best direct indication.
Wouldn't his alleged egg-shaped cock be an indicator of his carcass?
And even, I'm sure plenty of people, unfortunately, could even say that's not Epstein. I remember what his dick looked like.
Yeah. Now, this is all allegedly coming from a guy with an egg cock?
No, I've never heard that. I don't know what you mean.
What the fuck is this? What is this? Angel's egg? What is this?
Egged it.
Obsession with a sort of an egg-shaped world?
Fuck, I don't know.
I don't know what the messaging means. I have no idea.
So,
it's a Mithras. It's the Orphic egg. Anyway, there's no sense going into that.
Yeah. So I mean, let's say the guy doesn't die. I don't know. I don't know. This maybe not. That's not his body. I don't know. This is just what people say. So he didn't die in jail. He ends up where on his island that he loved more than anything.
Remember the picture on Google Maps of him like looking up at it after his death? You remember that one?
I don't. He was
right next to a lawnmower or something like that. It was really good.
He was looking up.
Yeah, he was looking up at the picture. Like it was funny.
He knows it's
I'm
there.
looking at him, just chuckling.
So, what else can we say about Epstein?
We
can talk about artwork in a sec.
The artwork is funny stuff. But in terms of a big picture, when it comes to Epstein, because I'm not the master of conspiracies or the master of forbidden knowledge. I really try not to be. But as long as we're on the subject in this fashion, but there's no conclusion to what I'm saying, and there's no.
Well, let me. I'll bring you into it.
It's just more conspiracy.
I'll bring you into it because I know what you're talking about. I was saying, where did he start? First off, we'll just say this quick. Who gives a shit about the names? But more or less, he was assigned to being a teacher when he didn't have credentials.
Yeah, he's like an MIT lecturer or something like that.
So yeah, he bounces from some like Manhattan school, maybe MIT.
Yeah, whatever it was. Yeah.
Either way, he gets into a position where he's probably talking to younger kids. Who cares? But he is in a position to.
He's influencing Ivy League students.
Yes, exactly.
I really like that.
Exactly what we're always saying.
Yeah, I really like
how
that.
do you get to the heart of the matter?
He's in charge of. He gets to practice brainwashing Ivy League influencers
With 0 credentials.
Yeah, he comes in. He's got an afro.
And he's like this. You guys like massage tables?
You guys like egg-shaped cocks?
Yeah, exactly. All of the above.
Do you guys like sex? No, I mean, do you like? Do you even know what being horny is?
He's like, do you even know what physics is? Let me show you.
I mean, there's physical sex, but there's more than that.
There's egg sex.
Egg-shaped sex. Egg sex.
There's egg sex. You guys smell that? It's eggs. So anyway, so it goes from that to something else. And you were telling me earlier that you remember things about probably being in an influential position.
Yeah. And even the trans stuff, but yeah, go ahead.
That's what I mean.
Okay,
so,
good.
So explain that to me. So you go. He's in a power
influencing
position.
policy. He's in, and I forget what was the emails, but the biggest takeaway I remember years and years ago when I was looking through all these things and this stuff. I don't remember where, this and that, and I'm like, what the fuck? This guy's talking about influencing policy in normalizing the transitioning of children, which I've always enjoyed. I've always enjoyed the idea of abominations like that to some degree, to a comedic degree, and like I've always enjoyed the idea of gunpoint sex changes, like forced sex changes, like real abominations like that. So this is no new thing to me. I'm like, oh, he wants to trans kids. I was like, that's what I would do if I was him.
Yeah. If you're in that position, you had that kind of power.
But when I saw that, and I wouldn't do that if I was in charge. But when I saw that, all I see is you could say I'll just say it. I have mystery religion goggles. I have Eleusinian mystery religion goggles. I have Mithras Orpheus goggles. That's just the way I am. And when I see the normalization of the transitioning of children, I don't see a pervert like this. Oh man, kids, they look so good. Like that.
You take that out of it.
I take it out of it because it's not reasonable. Of course, there are monsters and such, but I look at it. I don't look at it as evil for evil's sake. I don't believe in.
Sure.
I don't believe in evil.
You think
for evil's
policy
sake.
change?
Policy change is very specific, and it can only be for religious reasons. And the transitioning of children, or the normalization, if you want to boil it down, the normalization of the sexualization of children is a religious institution, and the normalization of that is one step closer for them to coming out of the closet and saying, "This is who we are. Please don't kill us." Mm-hmm. And now we're at the point now where they can all come out, and the pitchforks and the torches don't come out, whereas perhaps 10 years ago they would have. I don't know.
Yeah, even if it was a little bit longer.
I don't sit there and hope that people get out in the streets.
No.
Or I don't hope that they don't, or I don't hope they do. I try to serve. I try to serve God. Damn it, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't try to serve my. Anyway.
I know what you're saying. So I mean, all in all, he gets in a power position. He's pushing policy, is what you're saying.
He's pushing policy, and he's pushing the outing of his own religion.
Yeah, right.
I'd say the religion of abuse, the religion of abuse, and the religion of the corruption of youth, which is the darkest thing, which you get a millstone tied around your neck and you get thrown into the ocean and drown for doing things like that.
And you would still today hope to God that never becomes normal.
Yeah. Well.
Right.
But it's it's not a mystery. It's a religious thing. They're coming out of the closet, and there's really no exactly point getting into it, and there are better specialists than I am, but the system of abuse and corruption of youth and all that stuff, it seems to be like a Manchurian system of control. Like Manchurian Candidate, abuse and turning people into super soldiers or superheroes.
But more of like the government camp.
That wasn't religious. But
military campaign, like always.
Yeah, a military campaign. There's always been the super soldier, Uber, whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah.
But there's that. There's the creation of sleepers and of people who will cause chaos behind the scenes. That there's plausible deniability in all this stuff. It's a system of espionage. Blah 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 blah. But there's their religion requires alchemical transmutations of energy, in that comes in the form of ritualized, and we'll just keep this to a minimum, Eric.
Yeah.
Ritualized abuse, and a ritual in that I'm keeping this to a minimum. When an abuse is being performed, there are certain ideas and certain symbols and certain things and certain prayers that are going on in the head of the abuser while this is happening. So there's a sort of a very disgusting, unclean thing that they believe is happening, or that is happening, or I don't know.
Right. Who knows the effect of it? And I don't want to dream about that.
Yeah, just don't dream of it. But the fact that they don't do it because it doesn't work. They do it because it does things that are so bad that they're just bad.
I mean, all in all, this is very fucking bad. And I hate to say it, but
well, who else is going to talk about it in a good... I try to talk about it in a good way, so don't hold anything back.
No, it's not that. It's just I don't like talking about this shit. In other words, like, Epstein's a tough one for us guys, because I know it's a big subject, but we fucking hate it.
Well, I love it, but I don't like influencing people in a bad way.
Well, I just don't like talking about such heinous things. Like, the whole thing revolves around terrible things.
Yep.
And I wish it didn't exist.
Sure, yeah. Eric, the system that we're talking about right now, and this alchemical thing, and this ritual, and this exact thing, the worst things that you don't think about these bad things, but the worst things that we're talking about, these are the spiritual warfare that we were warned about from the Bible.
Right.
This is the dirty blasphemies that are done in private temples behind closed doors for the Pharisees, etc.
This is the slimy snake.
This is the real thing. That's the real stuff that I'm guessing Jesus Christ spoke about those things. I don't like to speak for Christ.
Yeah, right.
I don't like doing that. It makes me feel uncomfortable. I don't like it.
Yep.
But I'm just assuming him and John or Peter, whoever, some of his boys, would warn against these things. But when they talked about the idolatry, because it's a hard thing to conceive of, because we're not taught about these things, even in Catholic school.
I know.
We were never taught about what iconography or what an icon is, or what an idol is, or what a false god is. Never talked about this stuff, which, whatever. But an idol worship behind closed doors, because if people saw it, they would be killed.
Sure. I mean, this is like an exaggerated version of a witch.
Yeah, witchcraft, black magic, whatever. You could say whatever you want. There are many names to these creatures.
It's like when I was growing up, and I know this sounds ridiculous, but when I was growing up, first off, there's only one God, so why talk about a dark God? You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So, like, even in Catholic school, there was no talk about a dark God. There's just the devil. And especially not other demons or anything extra.
Yeah.
It was just like, there's only one bad guy, that's the devil.
Sure.
There's only one good guy, that's the God. It's God.
Sure.
Right? So you don't hear about all this crap. You hear about temptation, you hear about sins, and all that other shit. You don't realize that there are other people that you're not even talking about other religions in religion when we were growing up. Mm-hmm. You don't realize that there's something that other people believe in.
Yeah. Well, there was a certain level, and I'm not complaining, because I would agree. There's a certain level of supremacy that's taught in the Catholic curriculum, which is fine. They're entitled to.
In other words, they were teaching you to put blinders on.
Yeah.
And the only thing you have to do is have faith.
It only puts you in a bad position to deal with the real world in the future.
Well, if the world's this dark.
No one told me it was this dark when I was a kid.
Thank God. Because that would have been abuse in itself.
Yeah, well, it is. Knowing about this stuff is abusive, but it is a forced initiation into their cult. You being aware of this abuse, you play it in your head. It's like blah, 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 but it's like a forced initiation. So, like, we become, in some dirty ways, they want us to become part of their club on a subconscious level.
Well, I mean, like you're always saying, like, just thinking about it makes it real, which is terrible.
Yes.
So, I mean, maybe they were doing us a favor by keeping the blinders on. Yeah. That was probably the way to play it.
So ignorance is bliss. But,
would be kind of.
But at the same point is that
Ignorance is bliss.
So what is more important, knowledge to know what's going on, or to not know it?
Well, I mean, that's a big one. That's a big one. We can get into that one.
I mean, while we can, we might as well. This is all based on Epstein.
Yeah, well, it all comes from extreme abuse, and if you're talking about bliss and you're talking about that, I can only compare it to Eden. And now look, I don't sit here and pretend to understand the machinery, the celestial machinery of Eden. I don't. It's too scary to think about. It scares me. But I don't know if it was a good place before the apple was pulled out. I have no idea. For all you know, Eden even before the fall was just a cattle farm, just like this world. And I'm not sitting here trying to be blasphemous. I guess I'm just talking about my worst fears.
I guess you're keeping your options open to your worst fears.
I'm talking about my worst fears in public right now. That's all.
Well, shit. That's not the way it's. That's not the way it's put, right?
No, it's not put like that.
Okay.
It's not, but it being... Anyway, but okay, so when it comes to ignorance being bliss, you could say yes. Adam and Eve and all the inhabitants of the garden, before the tree and before the temptation, the ignorance of ritual abuse was not known. Mm-hmm. So they all had a good time. Now, I don't know if they were really having a good time, Eric. They could have just been toiling and busting their ass.
In other words, are you saying there's always a dark... Well,
the grass is greener then?
Let's just say that there's an option where it was always a dark side.
I don't know.
Not a good thought.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I really just don't. So let's just assume that it wasn't, just for the sake of our conversation. But in that case, ignorance is bliss. So therefore, ignorance is bliss. But when you're in a fallen world where the jar has already been opened and people are aware of demon technology and how to subjugate people with ritual abuse and other such mechanisms, so it's already out there. So therefore, not knowing it and not knowing how to defend yourself against it and not being taught about it is part of the death.
But that is just walking into a gunfight without a gun.
It's part of the sabotage. I couldn't sit here with a straight face and tell you that our teachers in these places were intentionally sabotaging us. I couldn't say that.
I mean, again, we are going back decades.
Yeah.
And this wasn't the talk of the town.
Yeah. This was decades, therefore there was a lot less crime.
It's just like, again, news like this would be...
People would be out in the streets flipping cars, throwing bombs.
Too shocking.
Yeah, people would be executed. There'd be crosses lining the street.
Even though the world is labeling these people as the worst of the worst, but it's not... The reaction isn't the same as what it would be decades ago.
Thing is, it's the same people.
It's the same people, but they were rightly afraid to have themselves exposed years ago because they would have been hunted for it. But if you wait long enough, all you need is time, and you can make anything normalized, as you see, because the system is completely under control.
It is.
And therefore, the ignorance is not bliss. It's only just programming.
And here's the demoralizing part, and this is why I keep biting my tongue. The demoralizing part that I want to say sucks, because I want to say the situation's completely in control. What does that mean? Everybody in control is your enemy. And I don't want to say that. And I find it too demoralizing.
Well, how do you... Oh, okay, yes, you're right.
I really do.
How do you define control? Well, no, you don't have to define control, but if you pair that against, let's say, I'm just throwing this out there because you have to throw this against extreme demoralization. Allegedly, prophetically, in our future, there is divine justice for all oppression that's ever happened.
Okay. All right. So in other words, I understand what you're saying.
The Lord wins. They all go to hell. The pit opens up. The second death, because the ground has been crying out. The altars, even the altars that are unseen, the ones that you walk upon, let's say in Washington, D.C., the altars, the blood, it cries out for justice. And you're deaf to those cries because we're not taught spirituality or even justice anymore. But allegedly, prophetically, divinely, there is justice coming our way. Therefore, it's already happened because it's preordained. So the people in control of our material fallen world that is destined for destruction and hell, what type of control is that?
It's not. You're right. In other words, justice is coming for that. So, in other words, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, which is good. I'm glad there's a different spin on it, a good way to look at this.
Sure, you could say it's a trick too, but yeah, there's another way to look at it. That's a faith-based,
and faith is everything. Like, we could go on forever because we could say there's certain objects that they got their hands on, like obelisks. Or, like they ship these things over the seas and they put them up in D.C. Like there's a million things that you really could go on forever saying the people that are in control
have the artifacts.
They have the artifacts, they have tools that are making them win a war. And again, a war, religion, not boundaries and countries. All this shit, you could go on forever.
Yeah.
But I guess that is the thing that's going to help me out in the end is faith. And all that crap that's going to bring you to the end, and justice will be served. I guess that's the way you got to look at things.
I suppose, at the very least, you're going to have to play it at the very least, like Scott Adams, the Dilbert guy, and he continued on with lots of stuff after, with a lot of stuff on persuasion and propaganda and hypnosis and politics and stuff like that. But he died recently, and he sort of almost live streamed his own death, almost in a way, which was interesting to me. I always knew that I would see it sooner or later. But he said, what the fuck did he say? What the fuck did he say about this shit? I'm drawing a blank right now.
No, he's Dilbert.
Yeah, but what the hell? Oh yeah, okay. It was Occam's razor, which is I guess a game theory kind of thing. In that, a thought experiment or a gambit, I guess you would call it, a philosophical one or a religious one. In that, it is a bigger losing bet to bank on there is no God and there is no hell and there is no divine justice when you're about to die than saying, oh man, even if you don't believe it your whole life, saying, my chips are better spent placing it in there is a hell and there is divine justice coming and this and that, so repentance is necessary and all this stuff. It's even as a gambler or as a nerd or whatever you want to say, or as an extremely deeply embedded, crazy religious warfare, philosophical plant, as to say that, which you could say, a mind virus. That could be a mind virus, what he just said. But assuming it's not, at the very least, you're better off banking on hell. If you live like a rat piece of trash who deserves hell, you should bank on it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like God-fearing. Remember we talked about God-fearing?
It's hard to define.
We've
always defined it in a hostile way because of what we had in our education, is to be afraid in a way, in the way of an abusive father.
Yeah, more or less,
like not
God-fearing is like fearing God's wrath. That's why it's taught to us. I mean, it's not like I'm going anywhere with it, but anyway, I'm glad we talked about that for a while.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. We have to purify it in ways that most people, look, I get it. People want to get out there and they want to make money. So they're going to talk about atrocity from people that aren't used to it, and they're still blasted by it, so they're going to respond to it in those ways. I get it. People want to make money, whatever. I don't like that. Who am I?
Yeah.
Well,
let's look at this. Like, here's evil. Epstein is evil.
If he even existed.
Sure. So, like, let's say he's evil, and everything he represents is terrible, and everyone
Hugh Hefner did it too. Same thing.
Everybody that's involved with him is evil and terrible. Let's see, like, the sense of humor side of Epstein. While those terrible things are going on, you've got artwork that's hanging in his mansions that he lived in.
Yeah, you got the whatever kind of mockery you want to call this.
And it is like
I wish they painted the green bar in there too.
I mean, the idea that he's in the know and in the group of people where you got something like 9/11 going on, and then
is he in the Oval Office?
Like let's say the reasons behind 9/11 are terrible, but let's just say there are a lot of people that died there. Period.
Sure.
It's a terrible thing. People died, innocent people, and then you've got him hanging paintings, mocking people's death, and I think that's kind of insane.
Isn't that interesting?
So here's one, and I think you guys can read between the lines.
Remember him? Airplanes and... No, you could say there weren't even airplanes.
No, it might not have been airplanes.
But there's George H.W. Bush, and he's just taking down the towers of blocks of paper airplanes.
Remember his reaction when they told him about it, when he's reading books? He's like this, well, now...
My pet goat. What was it? Where they were like, steel, crash, plane. Remember the stuff they were chanting?
Yep.
So it's all ritual and prayers that they do.
Here's the favorite. This is the favorite of them all.
Yeah, this is Seaman dress, William Jefferson Clinton.
You've got Bill Clinton that is in Monica Lewinsky's dress. I don't see any cum stains.
No, in this universe, she actually gobbled down a pelican mouthful of his well, it's nasty. I couldn't even guarantee he even has a dick.
No, we don't know that. It could be an egg-shaped one.
It could be an egg-shaped one. But the thing about the ruby slippers, though, which would indicate that he's been raped.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I would say the ruby slippers would indicate he's gone through a little bit of Wizard of Oz asshole sodomy programming.
I don't. So is that like a thing though with like red slippers?
Mm-hmm.
That is okay. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about Monica Lewinsky because she's not the best looking girl. How come Bill Clinton was having her suck his cock? Because
the way that she sucked his cock, she was like bringing out the deepest load.
So she could exercise the deepest load?
Yeah, she actually did it so right where he had balls in his body that he even know about that were storing up load for this occasion. All throughout glands that were contributing load all throughout his body.
Right, there was some type of like extra load that he could fill her mouth with. And didn't you say something like she couldn't gobble it down fast enough?
She couldn't gobble it down fast enough, which is odd, but I guess that was just part of the little game they played. But the use of a temple prostitute in that fashion, I think, would really drain him in a spiritual manner as well.
Now, Charles and I get ourselves into writing things, and even us, no, I'm not going to say this, we could write this.
Sure.
But I'm saying, like, if you go back to, what is this, 93?
Yeah, around there. Matt Drudge days.
93. The news back then was her showing her garment, and here's the load of our president, Bill Clinton. Here it is right here. You see the white stains of his load that I couldn't gobble down.
Imagine that.
That was the biggest news ever.
Imagine.
That was the biggest thing that ever hit. Imagine like the writing behind this shit.
Matt was probably writing it himself. Yeah, it's always been WWF ever since before you were born. It's always been like this.
It is the same quality.
It's always been like this, and this is
quality that might have been better.
Yeah, WWE's might have been even better.
Oh yeah, actually they had better characters,
better writing.
But it's I don't know. I guess maybe they're bored, or I don't know what they do. These people. Like, I don't know, why do they even live?
It's tough to fathom.
Why do they live?
In other words, he wakes up, takes a sip of coffee, and they say, you ready for the meeting? He says, yep. He gets in the meeting with God knows who. And it comes across the table, and they're like this. This one's going to shock you. And he's like this, what is it? He's like this. Oh my God, I have to, you're not asking this. They're like this, you have to go through with this. There's a girl named Monica Lewinsky. She's going to end up, you have to go publicly. This is going to court. It's going to
We're going to rehearse it for a day, but the next day we're on. This is happening soon.
This is going to happen. And we already have what you're going to say. It's not going to totally incriminate you on this. But everybody's going to get the picture that you were sucking your cock.
Yep.
And it's like this, I'm the president of the United States. It's like this. It doesn't matter anymore.
She was sucking your cock, and it was like riding a bull. She couldn't even keep your dick in her mouth.
He's like, Because it was too big?
It was too good.
He's like, no, we're not going to say it was big. He's like, well, can we at least say it's big? It's so big, or your load was big?
The load was big, and it was white.
It was white, and it's going to cover the dress.
Because it's going to cover the dress, and apparently you can't wash a dress after the president's blown semen, allegedly.
You're right. And he's like, what's Hillary going to say? And she's like, I wrote it. I'm the one that wrote it.
Fucking
like,
Vince.
Crazy ass
got a hat on. They got to get Vince in the boardroom. But I couldn't. I don't even know. I mean, that's all. I mean, I don't even know what to say. What do they do? What's the point of them even being alive? I guess they just do their father's work.
I guess, yeah. But either way, so in other words, the guy's hanging up fucking artwork that's, I guess that shows a sense of humor to something that's brutal.
Yeah, there's a dignity in that, being the president, getting painted like that. It's dignity.
Bill Clinton, like, who gives a fuck that he get a blowjob? Like, no one gives a shit. That one is straight up comedy.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, who cares?
I mean, the presidents have been using sex slaves ever since JFK. And
I was
going to
say, is Marilyn Monroe?
Marilyn Monroe was a sex slave, and at JFK, he was notorious for having sex every day. But he was wearing a back brace. He blew out his back every day for fucking
too many
girls
bitches
every single day. And you can say that. Okay, Eric, let me put it this way: the president of the United States, no problem pulling in pussy.
Yeah, no,
we all know that.
Course.
No problem pulling in pussy, but discretion is impossible when you're the president of the United States. So you have to use sex slaves. You have to use people that are not able to spill the beans on you.
Yeah, no, like, how many filters do you go through?
Yeah, you can't rely on someone's like, I won't ever tell. Like, you have people that cannot tell.
Yeah, but what about Monica Lewinsky did?
I don't think she did. As Matt Drudge found the notes. Yeah, it was broken in other ways. Like, I forget what he found. Maybe he found the dress. I have no idea.
Yeah, he's like this. He's tasting it.
Fuck, it smells like semen.
I'm
semen gay inside. Too. I'll buy my boyfriend a house.
Yeah. What were we just saying is shit. I lost myself there.
Just, you got to use sex slaves when you need discretion, Eric. That's all I want to tell people.
Okay, yeah. Oh, the idea of JFK's fucking everybody too. No, you have to have
the hidden rooms in the White House, sex slave, all that. It's ever since forever, before you were born.
From what I would assume, your resume looks like to become a CIA agent to a high level. Mm-hmm. Is the same for the girl that needs to fuck the president.
That's the way it is. That's just the way the ruling class system. That's their system of keeping things tight, and so it doesn't break. That's. All right. I mean, I don't know. It's espionage is even in the Bible too.
Yep.
This sort of stuff, sex, people to seduce rulers or to kill them while they sleep. All different kinds of stuff, and sex slavery, this and that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I forget the biblical examples of sex slavery, but I guarantee there are some. Well, of course, I mean, there are many of subjugation of conquered people, but in terms of like ruling class sex slavery, I'm sure there are.
In other words, they've all gone. It's the same damn thing on repeat.
This is Nimrod. I guess Nimrod figured this out. I don't know. The things from hell told people on earth how to do this. I don't, just to spoil God's fun. I know. It's as good a reason as any.
I still don't know why God put any of this temptation on this earth, but.
It's just because of The Sims. He wanted to make a game. I don't know.
I know. Literally. I don't know what else.
A game that's also like a self-perpetuating energy machine. Like I don't know. But can't you farm energy and life in better ways than this?
Yeah, do it a different way.
God damn it.
So that's our take, everybody, on all things.
Hey, this is the light take. This is the PG take.
The PG take.
More PG than everyone else. And
I know.
I mean... What the fuck?
We could stay on here. We could name you a million gruesome things, but I don't care to do it.
Oh man, I can't be thinking about that.
Another good one, Eric.
Absolutely.
Fucking, I'll warm this up while we zoom in.
There we go.
Oh man, that's fucking yellow eyes right now.
Newport.
Man, another palace, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Get ready for us. That's all.
from now till never.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, and endowed by the Creator with certain inalienable rights.
Cooling out, laying back, relaxing.
You could step all over that shit and still get 120 a gram, 20 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 a gram.
Mm-hmm.